Hello boys and parents, and welcome to the information video for the upcoming student-led conferences for Year 5 and 6. The student-led conferences were a new initiative that we started at St Laurence'S in 2019, and due to COVID in 2020 the conferences were postponed, but we're really glad to be able to offer them again this year, even in a virtual format. We hope that they're a positive experience for you and that they allow for you to get some greater flexibility to engage in some meaningful conversations with your sons. And boys, we hope that you get an opportunity, obviously, to talk about your learning with mum or dad as well. The purpose that we moved to this format was really for four main reasons. Firstly, to give the boys a greater opportunity to offer quality reflection on their learning and also analyse their own results for themselves. To strengthen the partnership that exists between the boys, teachers and parents, so that the circle of everybody involved in their learning is a tight one and a strong partnership. It also allows for parents to have an opportunity to have meaningful conversations with their boys, to try and understand their learning, and then just use the teachers as professional facilitators to, unpack or answer any questions that might come from it. And probably the most important reason that we went to this model was to put the most important person at the centre of the learning process, which is the boys themselves, right in the centre of the conversation, instead of just having adults talk about their school performance and their achievement levels without the kids being involved in the conversation. We certainly felt that there was a much greater richness in the conversation if the boys were a part of it, and that they could then sit with adults to create some realistic goals for improvement as they move forward. The design of the conferences is that they should run for around about 20 minutes. It will vary from family to family, and it is just a guide. The boys will do most of the talking during the conversation, and there is a video that will follow this with screen captures and a voiceover from Katie Jordan that will walk you through each phase or each part of the conference, directing you where to go, the sorts of questions to ask and the documents that you should be looking at. And then your son's home class teacher will be available on Monday during the calendarised time slot to answer or reply to any of those questions or queries. So you're very welcome to engage in this conference and follow this video anytime after you've received the link. Probably on the weekend would be a fantastic time if you could, so that both parents could be involved at the same time. And then what we will do is have the teachers available in that time slot on Monday, replying to any questions or queries that you might have. Parents, it is perfectly normal for some boys to be more confident than others in having these conversations. So some boys will talk a lot, some will talk in great detail, others might need a little bit more prompting. So at different stages, we will include some conversations that you might ask just to help keep the conversation going and to make it a little bit easier for the boys. In the folder that your son will have saved on his desktop, there's a number of documents that will support the conversation. So instead of just asking questions, there's different phases that relate to different documents that have been collected and saved. You'll be prompted to pause the video at the end of each section, and some time will be provided then for you to actually go through and complete the task or ask the questions for the particular document that's being referred to. And then it's just as simple as pushing play again when you're ready to continue. So we'll offer some time guides of 3 or 4 minutes for a particular section. Your family may take 5 minutes, they may take 1 minute. That's perfectly fine. You just push play when you're ready to move on to the next phase, and then pause again at the end of the next section once there's another part of the conference for you to engage in with the boys. Please feel free to use the documents or the screen captures to see exactly what it is that we're referring to in each phase. The boys have got all of those documents each. So some of them are very personal and specific, and some of them are blank. When you get to the setting of the semester 2 goals at the end, those documents are blank, and part of the conference is for you to create some realistic goals with him, and we'll talk you through that process when we get to it a little bit later on. As I said, the conference should go for about 20 minutes. If it takes longer, don't panic. The next voice or the next part of the conference, you'll hear Katie Jordan doing the voiceover, and the screens will have the screen captures of the documents that are being referred to. We hope that the conversations and the conferences go well, and remember that your classroom teachers or your son's classroom teachers are available on Monday to answer any questions or follow up any queries. Thank you.
This PowerPoint will guide you through the process for student-led conferences and will introduce and explain each new section. The student-led conference will follow a 4-phase structure. Together with your son, you will examine and discuss his self-report card, Semester 1 report card, external data summary, and goal-setting process. In the folder saved to your son's computer desktop, there are a number of documents that will support the conversation. Please note, however, that your son's Semester 1 report card is not saved on his desktop. Rather, you will need to log on to Parent Lounge to access this. You will be prompted to pause the video at the end of each section to have the conversation. Simply press play again when you are ready to move on. You can pace the conference for yourself to ensure you have enough time to complete each section. This will vary from family to family. We will provide screenshots on the screen as well, so that you can see the documents to which we are referring for each section. Student Self-Report Card. This is a simplified version of the Semester 1 report card, where your son was asked to predict his results and engagement levels in each of the subject areas at the end of Term 2. In most cases, the boys would have a very realistic picture of where they sit, and their predictions would have been very accurate. They might have kept a record of results from Term 1 assessments or viewed results on Student Cafe or Parent Lounge, as well as having a good idea about the quality of the work they submitted at the end of Term 2. In some cases, the boys might have just had a guess. They might not have used the information available to them to track progress closely. We encourage them to use Student Cafe in the future to keep an eye on their results progressively. Please have a good look at the results and engagement ratings that your son predicted. You might ask him how he made those predictions and ask questions about particular subjects if you like. Please pause the video now and press play when you are ready to continue. This might take 3 or 4 minutes. Semester 1 report card. The next document is the Semester 1 report card completed by the teachers. The information presented here includes your son's grades and engagement ratings, with the added detail of the cohort distribution table that shows where your son's results place him within the year level. You would have viewed these reports on Parent Lounge over the holidays. You might like to compare these to the ratings that your son predicted. It is a good opportunity to look for the consistency or differences in these scores, and to have a conversation about these with your son. If they are similar, that is good. It would indicate that the boys have good awareness of their learning and achievement. If they vary significantly, it is a good opportunity to ask why that might be the case. Example questions to guide your discussion include: are you keeping track of your results? Are you using feedback from your teachers? Are you working as hard as possible? Please pause the video now and press play when you are ready to continue. This might take around 3 to 4 minutes to complete. External data summary. The information on the next document provides information from external testing the boys complete over time. This information might be new to the boys and to parents. Each year at Laurie's, the boys complete PAT testing in both reading and mathematics. PAT stands for Progressive Achievement Tests. They are conducted by the Australian Council for Educational Research, also known as ACER. These tests assist in tracking growth over a 12-month period using a standardised test. More than half of the schools across Australia use PAT tests, so the information and data collected is very useful and assists staff with planning. NAPLAN tests are completed every second year in years 3, 5, 7 and 9. These are national tests designed to measure student progress, and they assist schools with delivering the national curriculum. The external data summary page shows a number of tables with data from external testing. The first table displays NAPLAN data collected in Year 3 and Year 5. Above the table, you can read about the bands and where they place students in the national cohort. The data component of the first table shows your son's level of achievement and the pattern of his performance. We have added in Year 3 data, if it was sent to Laurie's when he started here. If the Year 3 section isn't recorded, we did not receive a copy of your son's Year 3 NAPLAN when he started. We can add it into his profile if you send it in to the primary office. The next tables refer to the PAT test data collected. PAT testing is conducted approximately every 12 months to measure skills in reading and mathematics. In the table, you can read about the Stay9 scores and where they place students in the national cohort. The second part of the table shows your son's level of achievement, Stay9 score, and the pattern of his performance. When you pause the video, have a good look at the results and read the descriptions. You might like to compare these results to his school report, which makes judgments about achievement based on your son's internal assessments. It is a good opportunity to look for the consistency or differences in these scores and to have a conversation about these with your son. If there are significant differences, it might indicate one of the following: that your son relies on his teacher or other adults, such as a parent or tutor support for assessment tasks that he doesn't have access to with PAT and NAPLAN. He might get anxious or not put in the same effort with external testing. Or he might have capacity or natural ability and could work a bit harder on school assessment tasks. Please pause the video now and press play when you are ready to continue. Goal setting. The final phase of the conference allows for parents and boys to jointly construct some challenging, realistic, and targeted learning goals. You should use the format of the SMART goal for this. Some additional resources have also been saved in your son's desktop folder to assist with the goal setting process. The learning goals could be connected to study or learning habits, or could be connected to attitudes, behaviours, and routines. Please pause the video now. Take as long as you need to develop some goals and press play when you are ready to continue. That is the end of the student-led conference. We hope you found the information helpful and the process positive. We hope the boys were confident in discussing the different components and, most importantly, that he can identify areas to be proud of from Semester 1 and areas to target in Semester 2 for further improvement. Thanks for participating, and feel free to email your son's home class teacher to clarify any information covered during the conference.